Next, we have an update from FendX Technologies, Inc., trades on the OTCQB under the symbol FDXTF and on the CSE under the symbol FNDX. It's a Canada-based nanotechnology company focused on developing products to make people's lives safer by reducing the spread of pathogens. Happy to welcome back its CEO, Carolyn Myers. Welcome back, Carolyn.
Hi, Anna.
All right, tell us your update today.
Sure. How do I put the slides up?
Click the slides tab, right?
Okay. All right. Well, Anna, thanks again, and it's great to be here and just give you an update as to what we're doing. As you may know, we are a nanotechnology company, and as Anna said, we're creating products to keep surfaces clean or safe from contamination. This is our forward-looking statement, essentially what we're doing is, with the nanotechnology, is developing nanocoatings that essentially can be put on surfaces that are prone to contamination. And the whole premise behind this is that our products actually significantly reduce adhesion of bacteria, viruses, and other liquids from sticking to the surface. And as well, as a consequence of that, because they don't stick, they don't get transmitted. And that's our premise for moving forward to develop these products. And why are we doing that? Because the spread of pathogens is really hard to control. This has been voiced many times by the CDC, the WHO, and other medical groups. And they put in place very stringent recommendations about how to practice good hygiene. But it's really hard to do that 24 hours a day. And so as a consequence, these bugs are still around and hard to control. And we are focused on surfaces, and you may know that about 80% of common infections are actually transmitted by touch, and surfaces tend to be a very common area where they're found. And in fact, put COVID aside, these types of infections that are commonly found in healthcare and other high traffic settings are one of the top 10 causes of death in the United States, in fact, leading to over 98,000 deaths annually, costing a significant amount of money to manage these infections. And one of the main reasons is, other than the hygiene, is the fact that they're all antibiotic resistant, which means that there really are no antibiotics that can manage these infections, and it's really up to the immune system of people to fight these viruses and bacteria. And if immunocompromised, it becomes very difficult, and unfortunately, some people don't make it. And also, current cleaning practices, while they're very stringent, as I mentioned, they just can't be done 24 hours a day. So there's nothing that truly protects 100%. So this next slide just shows you, in essence, how our film works, and also our spray coating. It's nano surface protection. It provides immediate and continuous protection. In fact, what we've shown in the lab is that we can reduce adhesion of bacteria and viruses by over 98%, which is pretty phenomenal, quite frankly, which means that there's very few bugs that actually stick to the surface and therefore can't get transmitted. But this just gives you a sense of how it works. This is a surface that is protected by our film or our spray. And when you touch it with a contaminated hand, the contamination tends to stay on your hand versus going onto the surface. As you can see, there's no contamination here. Whereas if it's an unprotected surface, you have contamination on your hand, and a lot of it actually transfers to that surface, which means it makes it available to others that touch that surface, who can spread it to themselves or, quite frankly, to others. So our first product in development is called Repel Wrap Film. It's also our lead product. Just to back up a little bit, we licensed our technology from McMaster University, which is just outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And since we licensed the IP, we've actually advanced the film to the point where we are now doing pilot runs with our commercial manufacturer to optimize the manufacturing process. And the most recent advance and achievement is that we did another run with Dunmore. They're a film manufacturing company. They're listed here. And we were able to further streamline the optimization of the manufacturing process by being able to reduce the amount of coating that is required to make sure there's a consistent coating of the film. So this is a huge milestone for us, and we just released that information last week, or the week before maybe, in the last like 10 days. So we're really excited about that. And we're continuing to evaluate those results, and we will more than likely do another pilot run with Dunmore. And hopefully that'll be our last, and we'll move into the next phase of our path to commercialization, which is actually doing beta testing. And we have identified a number of potential beta testing sites. There's a lot of interest in this, and a lot of sites want to work with us to get involved in the beta testing. And essentially what this will do is allow us to confirm the performance of the film in the real world. And once we've completed that and we confirm that we've maintained the performance, we will move into commercial production. And assuming this all goes as planned, we believe that we're going to be in a situation where we'll have commercial product in Canada by the end of 2024. Our next product is our spray nano coating. It's not as advanced in as repel wrap film, but this potentially is a game changer in my opinion, because this nano coating essentially creates the same film as the repel wrap film does. The only difference is that rather than having to apply it to a surface, this you just spray onto the surface, and it provides the same immediate continuous protection of that surface. We're in the process of just finalizing the formulation and anticipate that in short order, we will be handing the formulation over to our partner who we've signed a master services agreement with called Nanocomposites, who will then take it to the next step, assess the formulation for scale up, and then do the formulation work. And then we'll be in the same situation as we are with repel wrap. We'll do the beta testing and then obviously do the commercial production. I anticipate that the actual scale up of this is going to not take near as long as it does to scale up a film. So we're very hopeful that we can get a commercial product available in 2025 or early 26. And the last product is our nano-coated catheters. We are in the formulation development stage, getting close to developing a prototype, which means that we can, once we have the prototype, we can then move into studies to confirm that the coatings on the catheter actually reduce infection rates and also blood clots. What has been shown in the lab so far is a formulation, a slight different nano coating formulation than the film and the spray. It shows that you can, so far in early studies, you get 96% reduction in the attachment of E. coli and 95% reduction in blood or fibrin networks on the surface, which the fibrin networks are actually a precursor to blood clots. So these are really nice results, and that's what we want to replicate, if not better, in a preclinical study. And my view is that once we've got data that shows that we can reduce infection rates or blood clots, we'll be in a really good position to be able to license this or partner with one of the big catheter companies who will de-risk the program for us and take on a lot of the responsibility for any clinical studies that need to be done and bring it to bring it to commercialization. And what I like about this for FendX is that if we get through this preclinical study and show the results we want to show, we potentially will be in a position to license this in 2025, and we'll get potential milestones, and then we'll get milestones associated with them achieving regulatory and development milestones, and so we should be able to get some of that revenue in 2025, assuming everything goes as planned. And last, I just want to show you our share structure. We have about 69 million, just over, common stock. We have about close to 16 million in warrants, and fully diluted, it's just over 92 million. I just wanted to share with you that we had warrants that were at 10, this is Canadian dollars, I apologize, it's the choice of being a Canadian company. We had warrants at 10 cents, and we were able to exercise all of them because they expired back a couple of weeks ago, and we were able to exercise all of them. And that generated for us 735,000 Canadian dollars. In addition to that, we have been in a private placement, which started in January, and we've closed 2 tranches of that and raised 1.5 million Canadian dollars. And we announced just yesterday or the day before that we have extended the price protection of our private placement till the end of April, because we still have interest in investing in the private placement. And if you are interested in terms, I'm certainly happy to share that with you. But there is a lot of interest given Easter, given spring break. That's why we extended it. And then last, I just wanted to summarize by just giving you a couple of corporate highlights or key takeaways. We really do believe that we have a technology that will disrupt the market that has a huge unmet need as it relates to being able to control these potentially deadly bugs. And it's actually in some very, very large market verticals. For example, in healthcare, hospitals, long-term care, in other high traffic industries, transportation, schools, arenas, gyms, you name it. I mean, we all know the high traffic locations, and they are all opportunities for us. And I didn't talk about the team, but we do have a strong leadership team, and it's a testament to where we started back in 2021 and what we've achieved to date in terms of meeting our milestones. And with that, I'm going to stop and take any questions.
Great job, Carolyn. Quickly, Tanya Holden says she loves your products, can't wait to buy. So what does the retail rollout look like on your products?
So if with regard to the film, if everything goes to plan, we should have a commercial product ready for Canada by the end of the year. In the United States, it'll take a little bit longer because in Canada, we don't have to get Health Canada approval. In the United States, it's actually prudent for us to get 510K approval through the FDA. And it's going to be a type 1, so it's relatively speaking, it's the simplest of the 510K approvals. And it could take 4 months. It could take a little longer, depending on the questions from the FDA. So I anticipate there'll be a product in the U.S. certainly in 2024, assuming all goes well. And the plan is to actually, we're not going to sell these products ourselves. We're going to license them. There are companies that have the potential to be interested in this. Just so you know, my background is licensing and M&A, so I have a very strong background in this. And Stryker is a potential opportunity for us because they have a $1 billion PPE business already, and this might fit nicely with them. P&G also may be interested in their household product line, and 3M as well, as it relates to the film. They might be interested. So that gives you some idea of what we're going to do in the U.S. as we move forward.
Well, good luck with that, Carolyn. Thank you so much for this update.
Great. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you soon. All right, everyone, stay with us. We'll be right back with Atacama Resources.